It's like the most magical day today. I don't know how to explain it. Let's talk about soul ties and trauma bonds and how we can free ourselves from limiting relationships that are abusive and toxic, but seem to hold on to us on a soul level. It's definitely something that feels like it's written in the contract of all of our agreements, that there are specific people that help us rise. Maybe that's through conflict and toxicity and abuse, or maybe that's through positive interaction. But either way, we're destined to grow, right? I've noticed that trauma bonds occur when we have interactions and connections with people that have the potential to have a broad range of emotions. So there's this current in the relationship that can go between pleasure and pain. There's like a big extremity between the two polarities, if that makes sense. These types of dynamics, when we have these extremes of good and bad, pleasure and pain, I feel that creates an environment of attachment. It almost traps us, because when we have an experience that is traumatizing and then we turn around with that same exact person and have a pleasurable or a gratifying experience, that right there on an emotional level can really trap us and make us sort of lose our identity in a way where we're searching for who we are in between those extreme polarities. The dynamics of a relationship can really define who you are if you let it. So you have to really remain confident and detached in your own being and in yourself. And don't get me wrong, I'm learning this as we go. We're doing this together because, like I said, none of us are getting away with anything here. We all have lessons and we all have agreements to evolve. So I've noticed that the more I focus on my self-healing, my self-growth, and my service, my gift to others, that helps me to detach from traumatic, unhealthy bonds that I have with other people. So service is one thing. Definitely focus on what you're here to do. I've definitely noticed that when I focus on my service, when I become service oriented, being creative, putting out content that will help people, making myself available for sessions with clients, focusing on my work, my service becomes a sanctuary. So if you are stuck in limited, traumatic bonding, get yourself out by focusing on what your actual passion and excitement and gift is that you want to offer in service to the world. I guarantee that right there will shift the energy and the dynamic between you and whoever it is that you're dealing with. Because once your focus shifts onto something positive, you will no longer be so vulnerable to the negative experiences that you're having in your relationships. Another thing I want to talk about is being just compassionate to yourself. Be gentle on yourself. I really feel like this 3D reality here on Earth at this time is definitely a master course for souls in the cosmos that want to come here and just like amp up their spirits and evolve extremely quick. So it's a really big deal to honor yourself and say, take a moment to say, hey, I did my best, I tried. I did as well as I could for what I knew at that time. My level of consciousness created my reality at that time. And, say, hey, I did my best. And you take that information, You take those experiences, you hold on to them so that you can learn from them and grow. But you don't continually beat yourself up for mistakes or for pain that you inflicted on yourself, on other people, because if you think about it, that's just like drinking the poison. You don't want to drink the poison. You want to remain neutral to the path and to the lesson. You don't want to take on the mistake as your identity, if that makes sense. So something that I've been working on in my own life, and it's kind of embarrassing to talk about it, but I'll be real, is emotional maturity. I used to think that I was emotionally intelligent, but as soon as I got into a relationship with one of my soulmates, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. I realized that I didn't really have a lot of emotional maturity. I was acting out of ways that were not evolved. We'll just say that gently. And so I had to really take a step back and look at myself. And now it's like, where can I grow up, you know? How can I grow up? How can I emotionally mature so that I don't leave myself vulnerable in relationships for manipulation, control, negative reactivity of those situations. It's a lot about taking stock of yourself, taking responsibility, detaching from other people, not looking outside yourself for help or love. Oh, I love it here so much.